You go from the back to the front, then they invert you, send you back to the back. You come to the front again. 10-lap segment here. How about your chances?
We're looking good. This is right where I want to be, and the outside lane's a good lane to start from, and got the guys that we got to beat right there in front of us. So, I think we're looking good. I tell you what, this dinosaur car turned out to be pretty darn good.
The Jurassic Park sponsorship on the front hood, you can bet Jeff Gordon's going to be munching his way to the front.
If he runs on the racetrack like he did down pit road last night, he's got a lock.
Yeah, if you weren't with us for qualifying for the Winston, Gordon came steaming off the racetrack down to make his pit stop and did not stop. He carried so much speed off, he had the brakes locked up about a quarter mile away, it seemed like, from his pit stall, and just couldn't get her woed down in time to make a stop. So he ended up last on the grid tonight, 19th position, with Ricky Craven, the winner of the Winston Open, behind him. Gordon made his way in that first 30-lap segment of the event from 19th position where he started all the way up at the finish to third. Then on the start of the second segment of the race, went to the green flag pretty well back in the field in 16th position. He made his way up to fourth. So can he make his way from fourth to first in just 10 laps? I certainly wouldn't bet against him, though he's going to have to work awful hard to get by the Labonte brothers on the front row. As they get set to come to the green flag, fans on their feet, 10 laps, $200,000 to the winner. Here come the Labonte brothers leading us to the green flag.
Down to the line, green flag goes in the air, 10-lap shootout. It's become so famous in the Winston as they go down to turn number one. Nobody can pull out the pass. They're exactly door to door, just like they started as they hit the corner.
Bobby Labonte has the inside lane. Brother Terry to the outside. Now Terry gets a nose out in front. Bobby pulls even again in the corner. Down to the inside. Ricky Craven to make it 3 wide off turn 2.
Craven dives to the inside of the racetrack, but Bobby Labonte cuts him off down the back straightaway, and Terry Labonte takes the lead. Here's Jeff Gordon now for second, side by side with Bobby Labonte as they race off turn 4.
Jeff Gordon zips around the outside. He will go to second spot now as they come down to the start-finish line. 9 laps to go. Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, and Jimmy Spencer now. They race for third.
Spencer making a challenge to the outside of Bobby Labonte. This again for the third spot, while up front Jeff Gordon is putting the pressure on Terry Labonte, breaking down to the inside. Gordon now up alongside for the lead.
Side by side for the lead of the Winston. Down the back straightaway, Terry Labonte hangs it out to the outside of the racetrack. Jeff Gordon is on the inside. They're still dead even through the corner. Now Gordon takes the lead.
Terry stands in the throttle, tries to stay door to door, then tried to duck underneath Gordon, but Gordon grabs the lead. Terry drops back to second. Bobby is third. Fourth is Jimmy Spencer. Real scramble for fifth in turn 1.
Side by side with Craven down to the inside of the racetrack. He's racing with Dale Jarrett for the 5th spot, and Dale Earnhardt right behind, waiting for a lane to open up. Front 4, though, are nose to tail, headed to 3.
Still double wide for 5th. Ricky Craven on the inside of the racetrack now feels the heat from Dale Earnhardt. They touch as they enter the corner, and Dale Jarrett scoots out to grab the 5th position and locks it tight off turn 4.
Rusty Wallace has just gone to the garage, a puff of smoke from his machine. On the restart, he had been reporting possible engine problems earlier in the evening. Jeff Gordon, 3 car lengths on the Labonte brothers to 1.
Further back, Dale Earnhardt picks off a spot, finally getting by Ricky Craven. He's now up to 6. Now Craven feeling the threat from Mark Martin. Martin trying to get by down to the inside as he exits 2.
Mark Martin's Ford falls back in line as they race down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, up front, no challenge for Jeff Gordon. Terry Labonte again tries to hang it out to the top of the banking. Labonte back in third.
6 laps to go to complete the Winston as they come down to the line. Jeff Gordon opens up a lot of daylight right now, and he's going to open up even more, Joe Moore, down in turn number 1 if the Labonte brothers race door to door.
Looked like they were about to go at it for a moment. Now they settle down single file, realizing they've got to try to trace down the race leader, Jeff Gordon. Further back, Jimmy Spencer hangs on to 4th with Dale Jarrett and Dale Earnhardt behind him.
Dale Jarrett now taking a look to the top of the banking as Jimmy Spencer eases his machine into the turn. Dale Earnhardt, meanwhile, dives down to the bottom, trying to root out Dale Jarrett. He'll move to the inside off the 4th corner.
Challenge for 2nd, challenge for 5th. Bobby Labonte tries to get around Terry Labonte. Dale Earnhardt tries to get around Dale Jarrett, but for Jeff Gordon, 5 laps to go. He's in 1.
Here's a race for 5th now. Earnhardt's going to open the lane down to the inside of Dale Jarrett. He'll pick off the spot closer to the front. Here's Bobby Labonte to the inside of Brother Terry for 2nd.
The side-by-side brothers race down the back straightaway. Bobby Labonte gets the edge as he races into turn number 3. Terry Labonte looks to the top of the banking, now tries to root him out at the bottom of the racetrack. Nothing doing. Bobby Labonte holds on to 2nd.
Well, that draft worked a whole lot better a little earlier in the race here in the evening when Bobby Labonte was leading Terry. Now will it work enough to get up there and catch Jeff Gordon? They're back in 1.
Terry couldn't close in on Jeff Gordon. Now let's see if maybe Bobby can do it. He was fast in the last segment. For now, he's about 10 car lengths behind the race leader, exiting turn 2.
But Jeff Gordon is so smooth off the 2nd corner, lets it drift to the outside outside wall. Now coming into turn number 3. Gordon plants it right down on the bottom of the racetrack. He's glued to the inside as the brothers Labonte try desperately to grapple their way to the front.
To the start-finish line blasts Jeff Gordon now with 3 laps to go in the Winston, trying to win the event for the second time in 3 years. He took it in 95. He heads for 1.
Dale Earnhardt back in the 5th position. Now will take over 4th. He goes down to the inside, and Jimmy Spencer grabs that spot. He's trying to close in and get a piece of this race for the win.
Meanwhile, Spencer tries to battle back as they head down the back straightaway. Spencer drag races side by side with Earnhardt as they race into the corner. Dale Earnhardt is forced up to the top of the banking. Spencer's on the inside. Meanwhile, Gordon heads off turn 4 back to start finish.
Jeff Gordon come down to the line, and he now has an advantage of a full second over the Labonte brothers. That will be Bobby and Terry. That scramble for 4th place. It's a dandy in turn 1.
This time it's Jimmy Spencer holding the inside lane with Earnhardt up high, but Earnhardt drives in really deep into turn 1. Gets the nose of his Chevy out in front of Jimmy Spencer. Spencer, though, will pull even again as they exit 2.
Spencer riding the camel hard down the back straightaway side by side for 4th with Dale Earnhardt. Gives Spencer the position. Dale Jarrett, meanwhile, moves to the top side of Earnhardt. As off the corner, Jeff Gordon races back to the start-finish line for the white flag.
Going to take a miracle this time, the white flag, to catch the leader as he works his way back into 1. Let's follow Jeff Gordon to turn 2.
Jeff Gordon has a 15-car length lead over to Bobby Labonte. Labonte in the 2nd spot with a 5-car length lead over brother Terry Labonte. They're off turn 2 for the final time.
Gordon is flawless down the back straightaway, eases it out to the outside wall, now tiptoes into turn number 3, drifts down to the bottom of the racetrack. Jeff Gordon glued to the inside groove, races off turn 4 back to the checkered flag.
From the last row on the starting grid to the lead and victory lane, Jeff Gordon wins the 13th running of the Winston, 15 car lengths over Bobby Labonte. It'll be Terry Labonte finishing 3rd. Looks like Dale Earnhardt nips Jimmy Spencer for 4th. Spencer will come away with a top 5 finish, but how about Jeff Gordon coming from the back to the front twice in the 2 30-lap segments, then scrambling past Bobby Labonte and Terry Labonte over the final 10 laps for the win. Let's go to his pit.
Ray Everingham here getting all excited with his crew. We should get a word with him here in a second.
The Rainbow Warriors having a big celebration on pit road, a $207,500 payday for Jeff Gordon. It was pretty awesome in the Winston tonight. We'll talk to him in victory lane in a moment. Jeff Gordon is in victory lane. Gordon starting the race 19th, running to 3rd at the end of the first 30-lap segment, restarting 16th, getting up to 4th at the end of the second 30 laps, and then from 4th to 1st, just a couple of laps into the final 10-lap sprint, and pulling away for a 1-second victory over Bobby Labonte. We'll hear from the race winner in a moment. Let's go hear from Bobby Labonte now. He is with Winston Kelly.
Let's go down to victory lane.
Well, a big smile on Jeff Gordon's face from 19th to the bank.
Well, I tell you what, first thing I said to R.J. Reynolds, guys, I said, show me the money. We got it. We won the one that really counted. I tell you what, we're going to paint this DuPont Chevrolet a different color every race, because every time we paint it different, I tell you what, it comes into victory lane. I want to thank Universal Studios for making this a successful night, but first of all, I got to thank DuPont Automotive Finishes. They're a great company, and you got to take their hat off to them to allow us to paint this car up different, because it looks so good in those rainbow colors.
Tell us about the first segment.
Well, the first segment, I drove in the first turn and said, well, let's see what we got. And, man, that thing was awesome. It stuck like glue, and I just put the hammer down and tried to get as far forward as I could. I had no idea I'd get all the way up to 3rd, and, everything just kind of went our way. Caution fell at the right time just as we were passing some guys, and, I tell you, tonight could not have worked out any better. I told you earlier I wanted to be in the top 5 for that last segment. I started 4th on the outside. Was the best place to be. Didn't get a very good start, but luckily the Labonte brothers were up there racing and gave me a great boost to get up there and catch them. I tell you, got to take my hat off to Ray and all the guys on this DuPont team. They set that car up so perfect there at the end. And also got to thank Rex Stump. We're going to name this car T-Rex, because he's the one that designed this car, and everybody over at R&D at Hendrick. This a new design, and boy, it sure was awesome tonight.
Did it ever change any at all tonight?
We were a little bit tight in the first segment, so we loosened it up, and I got a little bit loose in the second segment, so we just went halfway in between for the 10-lap segment. And I tell you what, that thing could not have been any more perfect. It was awesome.
Does your wife, Brooke, have any plans for this money?
I'm sure we can find some place to put it. I got to say hey to Rick Hendrick if he's listening at home. I got all excited over there. I was supposed to say hello to him on TV, but I tell you what, he's just an awesome individual, and so happy to have him as our car owner. And God's certainly blessing him right now, and I hope everybody out there continues to support the 1-800-MARROW-2 number.
Well, I'm sure this put a smile on his face. Jeff Gordon wins the 1997 Winston.
And a big payday for Jeff Gordon, $207,500 in winning the 13th running of the All-Star race.